Sons of Jacob enjoy unbridled power, privilege, and pussy. Who is going to sacrifice all of that for the sake of international relations? Food. While they fill up on Mercedes and Rolex watches, the high commanders are merely mentioning New Bethlehem in passing, and it fills up with credulous marks like Rita. Descendants will turn into traditional Gilead. Lawrence, Nick and Serena's assurances about the repatriate safety will be dust in the wind. And blowjobs and scotch will be part of the Sons of Jacob celebration. Think that his savage brutality would only be accepted in The Handmaid's Tale, but in our reality, Bell most likely has millions of Instagram followers and a popular YouTube channel. Hell, he'd probably be president. Objectives and maydays have now unexpectedly coincided. He needs the penthouse commanders removed in order to save New Bethlehem and clear his conscience. Use the 2 freedom fighters he currently has hiding in the trunk of his car to try to get the Mayday plan back on track? Opportunity and seized it, encouraged by his nation to treat women like property. Is the most recent in a long line of jerks that June and Moira have beaten their way out of, and he went into the incinerator. Guardian arrived, Moira and June came to a wise conclusion about remembering who the true enemy is in struggle for gender equality. This was a pivotal moment in the story. June was correct when she told Moira that she would never understand what she had gone through. However, she did not mention that she was a straight white woman speaking to a black lesbian, which could have made the exchange seem more like a staged educational video rather than a genuine confrontation between friends. Speaking of genuine emotions, it seemed especially well observed how the tone of that exchange changed from intense to sardonic. Abuse survivors are the only ones who can joke about degradation. Despite not being the primary focus of this episode, Janine, who gave it her name, is still a marvel when it comes to surviving degradation. Refusing to save herself before the others, she was instinctively heroic and somehow still able to love and hope. In this show, if we start comparing our suffering then those fuckers have won, said Moira in a line from screenwriter Yuba Mohammed that feels like a verdict this show wants to broadcast. Rather than infight and play misery one-upwomanship with each other, let's unite against the thing hurting us all. She told Moira that she would never understand what she had gone through. However, she did not mention that she was a straight white woman speaking to a black lesbian, which could have made the exchange seem more like a staged educational video rather than a genuine confrontation between friends. Tone of that exchange changed from intense to sardonic. Only ones who can joke about degradation. Being the primary focus of this episode, Janine, who gave it her name, is still a marvel when it comes to surviving degradation. Save herself before the others, she was instinctively heroic and somehow still able to love and hope. Show, Madeline Brewer has always been a 1000-watt lightbulb, and she still is. Regarding lighting, is it ominous that Commander Wharton's proposal to Serena was made in the traditional spotlit evil commander dinge of this show rather than, say, in the glistening New England sunshine during her encounter with Aunt Lydia? Probably. Wharton is saying all the right things, but his status as a high commander in Gilead simply does not align with his seeming progressiveness. Could he be another Lawrence, guilty of crimes but, in comparison to Bell and other men, relatively good? Wharton didn't seem friendly in the scene in which he warned Nick about the Guardian shooting, the whole plot thread of which was freighted with dramatic irony. Like a villain from Shakespeare, Nick was constantly praised for his great honor, even though we knew he was the one who had fired the shot. Young Toby nearly got away with his bewildered mumblings about his dog, but safety-conscious Nick realized the danger was too great to allow him to survive. On this show, Nick, Wharton, and Lawrence simultaneously play 3 commanders with nuanced inner lives. An uncommon occurrence. What direction will they all go now, is the question.